Hello, everybody. Hi, it's Robert from Old Style Classics. What?
Baseball cards!
Hey, it's my wife, Pamela. Hi, Pamela.
Hi, everybody.
Happy Friday to you, my beautiful wife.
Thank you. Happy Friday to you, even though you have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not as happy a Friday for me. I gotta work the next few weekends. But it'll probably be pretty dead the next couple days, so hopefully the boss will not be on her case about anything. Um, anyhow, yeah. Today is October 27th, 2023, so pretty consistent. Um, Keeping the videos coming. Today got two packages from eBay, if I didn't already say that. And maybe I'll do a little recap of some of the stuff I got yesterday. I have a blaster of Allen and Ginter's that I still haven't opened yet, but I don't think I'll do it on this video. I'll probably save that for later. So later I'll probably do that box. And but I want to get this one over with so we can do the eBay reveals. And then Jeopardy's coming on in a little while. Sorry, I was a little distracted there. My computer was not connected to the Wi-Fi for some reason. Computer runs a little slow sometimes. Maybe it's doing an update or something. All right. Oh, geez. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you what I have on hand from yesterday. So earlier this week, I did pick up, I got the Music to Your Ears relic of the Bondurant, which is kind of like a drum tambourine size thing. And this looks like the kind of the frame that would run around the side here. So that's why there's that little gap in there, so you can kind of see it. It's kind of like goes up like a ramp, you know. So kind of flat on one side, and it kind of goes up a little bit. So first I thought maybe it was just something that fell loose, but then when you look at it, I think it's just them showing you that kind of different angle that thing is set on, and it's sealed plastic, so it's not like you could touch that or move it or something like that. I banged it around a little bit trying to get it down, and it wasn't. Then I realized, oh yeah, that's, I think, supposed to be that way. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but anyways, this is a 2023 Music to Your Ears Bondurant relic card that I won on an auction, got earlier this week, and it's about 1/3 of an inch thick. Super fat card, and it's a super hard pull. Now, obviously, there's a lot harder pulls in Allen and Ginter, but this is even more difficult than pulling a double rip card, which is you got to open like 1,500 packs, basically 1,400 some odd packs to pull one of these. Almost 65 hobby boxes. I think like 14,000 blasters, and something like that, and some ridiculous number of retail packs before you'd pull one of these. So I talked about before, I'm just trying to collect kind of different cards that Allen and Ginters have done through the years. And the early days, I really never pulled anything like this kind of stuff, or some of the online stuff, or different exclusives, or cards that came in different sets, national convention cards, all that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of what my focus is. One of the things I'm doing. So I picked this one up off an auction, but then I seen somebody selling this one for cheap. It's like they don't realize how rare these are, and they just like don't care about them, you know. So they're like willing to get rid of them, and you know, their loss is my gain as far as my collection goes. So I'm gonna lower the light a little bit. It's looking a little bright. So I like some of these weird things. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about why I like the weird stuff in Allen and Ginter versus, say, Goodwin Champions, which is very similar, or used to be. Let me turn this light off for a second, see if that helps. Not so much. Alright. Shift this light just a tad. Let's see how that is. Alright, let's give this a try. Let's see what this video looks like this way. Alright, so the second one I did pick up was the violin. So I got a music tiers violin because I like the violin, and I like classical music too. Hard rock, country, rock and roll kind of guy, but I really do like classical music, and Beethoven's my favorite. And his violin concerto is my favorite of his songs, although you can't really go wrong with Beethoven. Nevertheless, I got this one because I like this one, and for the price somebody was selling it for, you know, super cheap. I'm going to take a rare hit like this any day. Now, I really liked Goodwin Champion, especially when they first came out. It was very Allen and Ginter-like. You know, it was based on that old tobacco set from the same time Allen and Ginter's was around in 1880s. And they had some really cool stuff, but they still had the baseball license at the time, so it was very Allen and Ginter-like. It was just 3 years after Allen and Ginter started. And they would put weird stuff like these kind of things in there too. And so I like that. But then their card stock started getting pretty cheap, and some of their designs looked a little weird, and for lack of a better term, just not as good. Or they looked kind of cartoony, but not in a good way. I mean, they weren't bad. They were just, you could tell the quality continued to kind of go down, like from the card stock. You know, they went from kind of thick cards like Allen and Ginter to more like regular set cards, thin, but just with that old look to it, and it was kind of a little off. But it was still cool. They had the tobacco minis, and then you would get some of the weirdo people, like some of the people you might get in Allen and Ginter maybe like 4 years later. So they did have Danica Patrick. They had some cool stuff too, like the Holly Holm was one of their big chases. So she's from Albuquerque. She actually went to the same high school as me and my wife, just not at the same time, but she's the one that knocked Ronda Rousey out the first time for UFC. So they do have very similar stuff. You know, it was like them copying Allen and Ginter. You know, and then you could talk about like Oback, which was more baseball centric. They didn't have more of the weird stuff, but Goodwin did have some. They would have football players and a lot of basketball and hockey and golfers, and you know, they're the only ones that had the license, I guess, or the agreement, whatever, to do Jordan, Gretzky, LeBron, and Tiger Woods. So you would get those in there, and that's cool. But to pull one of their autographs or something was like ridiculous. But then you would get weird stuff too, like one of the relic cards, because you would get one like 2 or 3 hits per hobby box. You know, I got like a rock climber, a dual relic, which was cool. And then I got like one of those map cards, like the topographical map. Now, similar to this is probably just something they got at some thrift store or something and put into a card. And then so like the Goodwin, they would just buy some map and make a card out of it, and that was like a big hit. And that was cool, but the difference is one, these are going to be super rare compared to what you would get in Goodwin. Like those map cards were probably a lot easier to pull than say this, because that's what they tended to do. Was you would get, oh, do we just having an earthquake right now? Wow, the whole building's moving as we speak. Still moving, people. Wow. That's probably the biggest one I've felt. 6:39 p.m. California time. If we disappear, goodbye, everybody. Love you. Love my family and friends. It's been a good run. That was a big one. Like,
I didn't even feel it that much.
well, you didn't feel the whole building move?
No,
Wow.
I'm moving around, so.
Wow. Yeah, that's the biggest one I've ever felt. Anyway, so
Mom called something.
Okay. Wife's gonna go talk to her mom. Oh, so anyways, I'm watching the World Series right now. It is the top of the fifth. Arizona's up 4-3. Just saw dude, what is it, Fam or one of those dudes just cracked a home run last inning. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, the earthquake. It felt like a truck ran into the building, or like when you're hitting a baseball and then your hand gets, where you get that ding and it goes right through your hand. It feels like that's what happened to the building. It's very, very weird. We're like 5 floors up. Anyway, but it's a new building, so it should be earthquake prepared or whatever. But with Goodwin, what ended up happening is, one, they lost the license, and so they didn't have a whole lot of baseball players. So you'd either get prospects or smaller things, some older players, but they were still pretty cool. And then I think they lost like the players license, like the Major League Baseball Players Association. So then you were really limited to what you would get. You would either start getting these people that never made it, like 4 baseball dudes in the whole set, like 300 cards or something. And then what you ended up with was only the weirdo cards that you see like in Allen and Ginter, like the rock climbers or the frisbee disc people and a few UFC people or some karate guy. And then they started doing some other weird stuff, like, so if they did something like this, they would manufacture like a patch of a dog, and that was your hit. And then they would give you a lenticular card, which was like a shiny version of like a really colorful version of like a sports flick card, and that was your other hit. And then you would get some other weird thing, like it could be like some glossy version of like Venus Williams, but not numbered, or just some weird stuff, just like they were all the weird stuff like this, but it was like every box, every year, every time, it was always going to be that. So it devalued stuff like this. Instead of it just being a rare, kind of cool, weird thing that you would get every now and then, it was like every box. And then you just never would get anything out of a blaster. Then they started getting cheap when it came to the minis, and it was like, oh, you'd get like 1 mini every 5 packs. So you got like 2 minis on a blaster, or like 4 or 5 in a hobby box. And that's really why I liked it, because it was based on Goodwin, which was mini tobacco cards, just like Allen and Ginter or T206. And so then they just started doing like other things, like they would come up with their own version of like something like a Pokemon character or some anime looking character, and that was your hit. And then you got a dog patch and a lenticular card, and they're like, oh, collect all the lenticular cards to get like a kind of like the code breaker to get some 10 autograph cards, or no, you get to choose, like you get the autograph Tiger Woods card, but there was like 50 cards in that lenticular set. So you're telling me I need to buy 50 hobby boxes of Goodwin Champion, and I have to be the first one to get that Tiger Woods autograph? Well, the cost, and it's not like their cost, just like Panini, that's one of Panini's problems. The cost of the hobby box is as expensive as Topps. You don't have a license. So if your product's cheaper and you don't have a license, then I'm like, okay. But if it's as much or more, Diamondbacks just scored again, 5-3. Then you would be like, well, what's the point? I could just go buy a Tiger Woods autograph for a third of what I can get his autograph card for a third of what it would cost me to get all these boxes to chase after this thing. And then, like, one every 6 years, you might get an autograph. But then that was going to be the rock climber or the frisbee disc dude, or it was just weird. And then now and then 2018 was the last year they did minis, and that, like I said, that was like one a blaster or something like that. And then since then, now the cards are like, they look just like the Metal Universe or something. They look like Capstone or something. They just have a new design. It's like a modern set. It doesn't have anything to do with the old-fashioned Goodwin thing. And it's like, oh, we've got to shake it up or something. And it's like, no, keep it what it was. But they need to go back to having mini cards. And I know they don't have the baseball license, but you know, Upper Deck, you could pay some of these retired Hall of Famers, you know, so that, hey, I did get a baseball autograph actually this year, 2022 one that I bought, but it was like some 16-year-old or something like that. And for the most part, the baseball players that they have put in Goodwin, let's say in the last decade, not the first 3 or 4 years, but like in the last decade, I only think like one or two have ever been named anything. One of them was Wander Franco. We know his problems now, and then the other one's Jason Dominguez. So that's still to be determined, right? But nevertheless, Goodwin kind of flooded their market with weird stuff, and it wasn't even as cool as this. They were kind of cheap, and they just kept getting worse, and the designs weren't great. I mean, I'd still buy it because I liked the old-fashionedness of it, but the quality's like night and day. Panini Golden Age was a lot better. That's what Goodwin should have done, is whatever Panini was doing with like Golden Age, and just stuck with something like that. But anyway, so that's why I like the Allen and Ginter. It's like, yeah, I want to have some of these weirdo cards, but some of these weirdo cards are very hard to pull. And obviously, Allen and Ginter's is a bigger set, a bigger print run from a bigger company. And so, yeah, I mean, let's say Goodwin Champions puts out 1 million packs. Well, Allen and Ginter probably puts out 50 million packs. I don't know. I'm exaggerating to make a point. So anyway, so that's the difference there, and that's why I think this is super cool. And nothing against Goodwin. I really liked Goodwin. I like some of their stuff. It just obviously couldn't compete, and that's Topps fault and Major League Baseball's fault for being so greedy. It would have been nice if they were able to keep their license, because when they had it, Goodwin was awesome. I mean, it wasn't as good as Allen and Ginter, but it was somewhere in between. It was like Gypsy Queen mixed with Allen and Ginter, just light, let's say, but it was still cool. I got Phil Hellmuth, the poker champion. I got his autograph in that first year set, and that was super cool. But yeah, just quality problems with Upper Deck, and now they're not even like what they're meant to be, I guess, is probably the only way to put it. So there's my little rant. And so then this is what I got yesterday. Plus I got the Hulk Hogan 2006 mini, because I do some wrestling Allen and Ginter stuff. Most of those come out of Heritage, which aren't even part of regular Allen and Ginter, but an insert set of Allen and Ginter cards for Heritage WWE. And because I got the Thunder Lips Allen and Ginter X 2015 10th anniversary mini, Hulk Hogan playing Thunder Lips and Rocky 3. So I added those to my little collection. And then I got Nina O'Brien's autograph, mini framed autograph. She's super, cute. She's from San Francisco area, and yeah, so I thought that was a cool card to get. And we got some more of her stuff coming out, because I was saying it's kind of like one of those Danica Patrick, Jenny Finch things. It's like, I want to get on board well, it's still early and I can get that stuff for cheap, because who knows, she might be expensive down the road. Alright, so those are some of the oddballs that I wanted to talk about. And look at that, 20 minutes in. Oh, I do have the O'Brien right here. So I got this. So I got some other stuff of hers coming in. Hers also came with the full-size regular card and the mini A&G back. And the interesting thing, and I was talking about it yesterday, was the full-size card had like a one color in the background, but the mini A&G had the complete opposite color in the background. And I was like, oh, is that the difference between Allen and Ginter backs and regular cards? But then I saw some other people, their regular card and their mini A&G back, and it was all the same color. So I don't know if there's something special about that, like how many cards in the set have something like that. Is that something like a secret Easter egg hunt, or like the code breaker thing? I don't know. So that's an interesting thing to look into. And the day before, I do love Allen and Ginter for baseball. It's not just the weird stuff. And so I got my Andre Dawson first mini framed autograph from eBay the day before. That's 2022. I've never pulled one of these. Before that, the only Allen and Ginter autograph of Dawson that I had was this Signature Series Archive. That card was never meant to be signed, in the sense that it was just a regular card that they bought back and had them signed. So this card was intended to be a signed hit. Alright, so there we go. So if one of these cards is one of the ones I'm thinking of, then I got my binder handy to kind of do a little thing there. Which one, babe?
The top one.
Which one's the top one? The one. This one? Alright. So we have ourselves a card coming from Lenexa, Kansas. It didn't wake her up. If you're ever in Opie, Kansas, which is right outside of Emporia, Kansas, you got to go to the Chicken Shack, or the chicken place out in Opie. Oh my God, they got the best fried chicken in the world. But you got to get the fried, like fried chicken pork chops. It's like chicken fried, but not like chicken fried steak. They put the same batter that they do on their chicken, which is wonderful. Oh my God, I can't remember what it's called, but the town is like 300 people, and that's like the only restaurant there, so it's not like we won't be able to figure it out. Alright, so I'll put the hurting screen for you there while I take this out. And alright, so what is this one gonna be? You can see it's a mini frame something, so it is Allen and Ginter. What time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:52 p.m.
Alright, still got 8 minutes before Jeopardy comes on. See, I was able to go on a rant and a ramble. Like Don Williams, I'm a rambling man. There's some more bubble pops for you if you want. Not very good ones. Alright, this one's super cool. This is another one of these odd things that Allen and Ginter did, that some people would be disappointed if they pulled this as their hit. And they didn't want it. I do, because this is another it's a really oddball hit. Not particularly rare, but it is. So like, if this was Goodwin Champion, this is like the one autograph you would have got after buying like 10 hobby boxes. But in Allen and Ginter, this would be like the one autograph that you got, out of every 5 autographs that you got. You know what I mean? So instead of like buying 5 boxes and getting this guy's autograph, well, with Allen and Ginter, you would have got like 4 baseball players and then like this guy's autograph, or somebody like him. But it's a super cool story when you read about the regular card. And this is super cheap. Somebody was selling it for, And I'm like, oh, I gotta have it because I love this guy's story. It's so cute. And it's funny too, just with what's going on with my mom. I guess she's okay. I haven't heard nothing today. But this is the Benny Wasserman mini framed autograph. So let's take a look at that. 2023. And that is MABW. The world champions, the Silver Slugger, Benny Wasserman. A star autograph card bearing the signature of Benny Wasserman, the Silver Slugger. And all right, let's take this out of this. It does not like the shininess, but I don't know if it's gonna like the mini frame shininess either. So give it a chance to focus there. All right, gotta give it a second. All right. It's having trouble up close. It's like I need a cue card or something. Something that I can focus on.
And if you put
I just don't want the
this
address.
behind it,
Yeah, maybe.
and then
Oh, you're right. So getting the black out of the background helped. So anyways, signing of all Topps autographs cards witnessed by Topps representative, blah, blah, blah. There's the code if you're interested. So if you haven't looked at this guy's card, his base card. So this old man is like, dagnabbit. So this old guy here is in his 90s. I don't know if it was like 90, 92, 93, 96, something like that. And he's a huge baseball fan. I believe he lives in Texas or somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't have his other card on hand right now. But every day he goes out and hits a pitching machine. You know, goes into the pitching. What do they call it? The pitching cage or whatever. And bats against the pitching machine, pitching 90 miles an hour or more, like a 90-mile-an-hour pitching machine. It's probably what the pros use, and the guy goes out there and bats those balls, and he's in his 90s. And it's just a super cool story. It's you know, that's like his claim to fame, and you know, this guy got himself a card because of that story spread, and I think it's super cool. It's neat. It's baseball related. You know, is it a Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout autograph? No, but that's super cool. It's a sweet story. Got to feel good for this guy getting the recognition. You know, near the end of his life, I'm sure, and I just think it's super cool. And that's just, it's one of those odd things that Allen and Ginter does. And like I said, if Goodwin did this and I got it from Goodwin, I would, you know, I wouldn't be all like bent out of shape because I didn't get Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan. You know, I know those would be hard to pull. So I'm downing on Goodwin a little bit just because they've changed, but it's not all their fault. A lot of it, like I said, has to do with Topps and Major League Baseball and all the greed that goes with that. And that's why you don't get oddball cards like in cereal and stuff anymore. It's just greed, and it's all in one company, and Major League Baseball is obviously trying to squeeze every cent they can out of their licensing and all that. But nevertheless, I think that's a super cool card. I'm happy to have that in my collection, and it really didn't cost much. You know, maybe a little over $10, something like that. And this guy, you know, this is like, if that was you, you know, if they were like, hey, you guy who's a YouTube baseball card opening watcher extraordinaire, who spends 50 hours a week watching it, hey, let's give you a card because of whatever it is that you do. You would be more than happy to have that, and you'd be like super proud to have a card. I'd love to have an Allen and Ginter card for hopefully a good reason, not for being notorious or something, but like the Billy the Kid or something. But nevertheless, and if you did, I wouldn't mind having your card either, because I think that'd be super cool that just some regular person made it in there, and now they're going to be immortalized as long as these cards are still around until the Earth gets eaten up by the sun or something. Then maybe we can send a time capsule out into space and throw some baseball cards in there, sports cards, and this guy might be one of them. So I think it's awesome. It's funny. It's not. I'm not laughing because I think he's a joke, like a joke card. I just think it's awesome that the dude got a card, and his little story. It's super cute. And you remember it's a little good.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah. So I like the story, and that's why I talk about the cards for so long, because it's a good story and that's a cool thing. So that's another little different thing from Allen and Ginter that I could check off my list. Yeah, I have many framed autographs, and I have some like minor celebrity cards, or like sportscasters or something. But like Nina here, she's an actual Olympic athlete, like a world champion skier. But this guy's a champion in the hearts of people because he's still kicking out there, still doing what we all hope we could be doing. We're 90 and not stuck in some old folks' home just withering away. So, good for him. I'm glad to have this card. Well wishes and best to you, Benny. And not a bad autograph for somebody that age either. What he probably had to sign like 500 of these, or a couple hundred at least. So that's cool. I dig that, and I'm happy to have it. All right, then the next and the last one from this break is from Algona, Washington. So this is from Check Out My Cards. So it could be multiple cards. So nothing in there, just another hungry envelope. Oh no, that's what you become. Now you're a collectible. Alright, got the little receipt here. It's just one random styrofoam-ish peanut. Looks like I do have a few cards possibly, or is this just one? And if it is, then it's just a thick one, which is kind of interesting. So this is going to be a complete Allen and Ginter break opening. I need the light back here, people. Sorry. Got to find this sticky part of this. So I don't think there's anything else hidden in here. Maybe. Alright, this is super cool. This is the card that I've been alluding to all week long. So I do have multiple. So maybe it's not all Allen and Ginter. I don't know why it says 101. Awesome. So that one's kind of crushed. So I will tell you, the first card I'm going to show you is another big one for me in my personal collection. So when I described what I got the other day, earlier this week I pulled my first Andre Dawson Allen and Ginter back card, which is the first regular Allen and Ginter set, not Chrome or X or anything like that. The first after 10 years of him being an Allen and Ginter, at least in 8 sets, maybe 9 now. I was never able to pull anything other than his full-size card and a few minis. Never got an A&G back, black border, no number, Brooklyn back, autograph, relic, other than his one insert card, I only pulled one of those long ball lore Andre Dawsons, and never a short print. Until this year, we did pull short print in the sense of the one over 300, but that was just the base short print. So and that was just recent. So that was probably the best that we ever did for Allen and Ginter for Andre Dawson. So, like I said, I'd never received his autograph, a wood card, a metal card, a stained glass, which I did purchase one in like a couple weeks ago. So I pulled my first Allen and Ginter back Andre Dawson myself, like earlier this week or last week, I should say. So then I finally ordered one, and I got this for cheap, like a third of what other people are charging for this card. So I got this Andre Dawson 2022 Allen and Ginter mini framed autograph. And I tried to get one of these a couple months ago, and I told you how that never worked out. The guy never sent my stuff, never responded to one of my emails, anything. And finally, after almost 2 months, I finally told eBay, I was like, what's going on? And they just refunded me my money, so I never got the card. I wanted the card. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't expensive, and neither was this. I just wanted the card, but I didn't get it. And so then I finally went back on, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get this one from Check Out My Cards, because I know I'll get it, because I know they have it. So I got Andre Dawson mini framed relic card. So not only have I never gotten a relic Andre Dawson card, I don't think in any set. Nevertheless, Allen and Ginter's the cards that I collect. Not even in regular tops or anything like that. Hang on just a second, people. Gotta find the remote. Let's see what's going on. 5-3 Diamondbacks. 6th inning. Alright, changing over to Jeopardy. So anyways, let's see. This one is 2022, and this one's 2022, and this one looks to be, I think that's 2017? No, 2019. So he's looking a little old in that image, but that's a bat relic card, and it's funny, it's really slivery. If you can see that, it doesn't really matter. It's not like some dog was chewing on this or anything. The frame's still in good shape. Alright, let's try this again. Maybe we need to bring my Fleetwood Mac thing back. Alright, so you can see those kind of like little slivers there. But that's cool. That gives it a little character. And that's actually a really good looking mini card that they used. I mean, his image looks a little older, but I dig that design. I think it's better than this year's card design. That's the one thing I didn't care for much on Allen and Ginter this year. Was one, I didn't care for the card design that they used. At first I thought I liked it, but then as the more I saw it, I didn't care for this design. And then, like I said about the retail exclusive gold borders, look a little too Gypsy Queen to me. I don't hate them, I just don't care for them as much. And I think that Andre Dawson is just a better looking design, because everything else in 2023 is epic looking, but those ones are kind of bland. So anyways, I got me an Andre Dawson mini framed bat card from 2019. Of course, I still haven't pulled one, but I didn't have one, so when I ordered this, I was like, oh yeah, I need to get one of these, because I still never got one. I don't think he had any full-size autograph cards. If he does, I'm not aware of them, but that's going on my PC. Now I have a full-size autograph card of him that came from Archives, a mini framed autograph card that came from 2022 base Allen and Ginter. And now I have a mini framed relic card from 2019 Allen and Ginter, and it's a super cool card. I preferred the back card over the relic jersey cards that I saw. If I do see a cool jersey one, then maybe I'll pick that up if it has like a Cub stripe or something in it. Got a few other Andre Dawson things going to be coming down the pipeline too, but a few big ones, but nothing towards that rainbow stuff that I've been talking about. Well, maybe one of them. But I haven't found any more chrome colored cards that I need. Or some of the rarer stuff. So anyways, there you go. Genuine Topps Allen and Ginter relic card that features memorabilia from Andre Dawson, star outfielder of the Chicago Cubs. With memorabilia contained in this not from any specific game, event, or season. There's your code. There you go. And then some people see this and they think that it's that's like player worn or something. No, it does say game used memorabilia right there if you look. So there we go. So now I'm finally starting to get together my Andre Dawson collection beyond just the basic stuff, you know. I've got a couple autographs now. I finally got a relic of him. I've had in the past purchased black border and gold border ones of him. EEA-MG backs that I'd never, like I said, never pulled anything like that. I got that Brooklyn back. PSA graded 10. Population 1. I've picked up chrome stuff. The only short print Andre Dawson I ever got from Allen and Ginter was I did pull the mini green refractor out of chrome for 2022, and those are what number to 100 or 99. But chrome, especially in 2022, you got like 6 colored cards, full size, and then the same in the minis, and then you had like the X-fractor and the super fractor, and so and chrome is such a low print run, it's pretty easy to finally end up getting a short print of the person you like. But as far as the base set, a lot more difficult to pull anyone in particular. So that's cool. There we go. Andre Dawson, he's found his home. And this one's actually got a lot of heft to it. So we'll have to work on a jersey card, a metal. I did get the stained glass. I got the super short print. I'll need to get like a metal, a wood, a glossy 101, a mini 101, one of those X-fractors or super fractor someday maybe. Printing plate, stuff like that. Be in my future kind of things that I'd like to get from him. Obviously a jersey relic. And so yeah, that's cool. Alright, then the second card I got. Oh boy, I'm carrying on. This is going longer than expected. Sorry people. But these cards need the attention that they deserve. And this is the one I've been waiting for. Now, all of them are super cool. And they tried to trick me again with the invisible card. Of course, they send you the little receipt with the little image of what you got on there. But this one is another one of those things that Allen and Ginter does that I don't think any of these other companies do, or at least if they do, they're copying Allen and Ginter. And this is another one of those actually really pretty rare, hard to get, and there's only 10 of each of these in every Allen and Ginter set since they started doing it. And so this is technically one of the hardest pulls to get from any Allen and Ginter set. That's not like a cut signature or something super, super rare that they might be doing. But as far as like, yeah, this is one of the hardest things to actually get from Allen and Ginter. And I cannot believe that I got this for what I did. I just searched and found the cheapest one I can get, and I was like, I gotta get that. And I did. And this is card number 8 of 10. That'd be cool if it was Andre Dawson, because he wore number 8 and 10. 8 as a Cub and 10 as an Expo. I'm not too sure with Boston. I think he might have been 10 in there too. So let's take a look at the back of this. This, my friends, is a Michael Gordon. Alright, so there you go. So Michael Gordon, you say, well, I'm not familiar with this pitcher. Who is he and what team does he play for? Well, so Topps Allen and Ginter 2015, Michael Gordon, Topps certified autograph issue. You've never heard of this pitcher or this player. Why does he have an 8 of 10 card? Because that, my friends, is the super, super rare, which some people hate. I've heard people complain about this because they don't understand Allen and Ginter, like we've talked about 100 times. But this is the super rare Allen and Ginter Topps employee autograph card. So he's a sports editor. So I'm not sure what the first E stands for, but employee autograph mini. Employee autograph Michael Gordon. Congratulations, this is a Topps certified Topps employee 2015 autograph card, 8 of 10, and so it does talk about Mike here, so that's rare. That's a multiple check for my collection, and I'll point out here in a few minutes why. But let's see what it has to say about Mike. Was raised in Fort Lee, New Jersey, the original home of Hollywood. He played baseball for Fairleigh-Dickinson University, later obtained a master's in sports administration, and avid traveler. Mike has visited 31 countries in his lifetime. He shares a birthday with Tony Dungy and is left-handed. The signing of all Topps autograph cards is witnessed by a Topps representative to guarantee authenticity. I wonder if he was guaranteed his own. So let's dive into this card a little bit. One, I finally got a Topps employee autograph card, which I've known about for years, and they're super, super hard to get. So one that's different kind of Allen and Ginter card. Definitely checks off that list. It's got a different frame than I'm used to seeing, so that's kind of a side check. Once again, it is one of the few actual Allen and Ginter cards that is stamped, especially the minis. Very few minis ever get a real stamp. Usually they're hand numbered if they are numbered. So not only that, and it's an employee autograph, but the minis that come in the mini framed autographs never tell you the story about the person either. It just basically says, kind of like what this one says about the relic. You know, it doesn't give you any stats or any information. It just tells you who the person is and like his nickname, and that it was witnessed by Topps. And if this was the numbered version, like the black border or something, it would be stamped on the actual frame, either on the front or the back. Or hand numbered, if it was a red card, red autograph. So that's another check. So I got a stamped mini framed card, but stamped on card with this story. An Allen and Ginter employee, super rare, super hard to get. You may be thinking, well, why would I want one of these? Well, because it's odd and it's rare, and it's these are the people that bring you tops, and so I think it's cool. And they obviously took an image of him when he was playing back in the day. I imagine him, unless he's playing softball there, but it don't look like he's pitching a baseball. So that's cool. They used this design for him, and yeah, it's odd enough and baseball related enough because he was a pitcher for university, and it's baseball related because he works for Topps, and that's where you get your baseball cards from now. It's Allen and Ginter. It's awesome. That is super cool. That's, it's just some regular person getting a card. But they decided to do the Topps employee. And the reason I've been wanting to talk about this card for so long and waiting on it for like 2 weeks almost. So yeah, a little disappointed, and check out my card's turnaround time on this. We're charging me over $5 in shipping. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my binder one more time. The reason why is because this is the first Topps employee autograph card I've gotten, but it's not the only Topps employee thing that they've ever done. And so one of the other rare things that Allen and Ginter has done that has to do with their employees. So there's my Dawsons. So these are like some of the only other stamp numbered minis that you can get, which are some of these red borders that came in complete sets. So like this one's numbered to 33, if you could see that there. So usually you just don't get numbered cards from Allen and Ginter, especially minis, unless they're hand numbered or the frame's numbered. But let's kind of move forward, or like if it's a 1-on-1, like a glossy. And I'm not counting chrome because that's a completely different thing. Chrome has their own rules, and they're kind of relatively new, so they're going to just keep doing with hand numbered and all that stuff. Alright, where is this guy? Alright, here we go. It's with my 2006, so that must be up here by Andre Dawson. Oh, yep, passed right by it. Alright, so as I showed you earlier this week, so that's why I kind of got the O'Brien, was based on like Jenny Finch and Danica Patrick from 2006. Those are, like especially their short prints and their autographs and stuff are really expensive. But anyways, in 2008, they came out with this set of cards. So this is Minty Beans 2008 Allen and Ginter's, and it's this old-fashioned baseball team that Topps came up with, and they had them doing like poses with like the string on the ball, just like Goodwin did back in the 1880s. The Goodwin champion cards, and I think Gypsy Queen. That those baseball cards for Goodwin were just shot in a studio where the people were pretending to play baseball with like balls on a string. So this is like a gag card. This is like a funny old-fashioned team that Topps put together and put on these cards and came up with some crazy story about each player on the team. So like this one's a Minty Beans is his name, and I've read that before, but I'll go ahead and do it again. Legally blind without the spectacles, he was notorious for hitting batters and was the inspiration for the phrase beanball. He once caught a fly ball with a shoe. After baseball, he moved to New Jersey and opened a wax museum. He died on a prospecting trip to Montana where he was mauled by a bear while making paella. And it's just super funny. It's just this goof card that they do, just like what they're doing with it's super cool because it's an old-fashioned baseball team, just like what you would think of these old tobacco cards. So it's like, like this Cap Anson or this Montgomery Ward card, who are the original sets, or Bob Feller here or something like that. But it's just like, oh, this old-fashioned team that you think of when you think of tobacco cards. But it's a gag, so you think, oh, it's serious looking because it's a baseball player, but it's kind of making fun of itself with the whole string on the ball and the story. Just like these cards, these talented cards, it's a super cool card of the bald eagle. It's got all these beautiful birds on there, but they called it talented, because they got birds got talons, and they're talented, Probably easier to see the back one. So it's like a serious card and a goof all wrapped into one. So most companies would either just do some goofy card like a Garbage Pail Kid, and that's just goofy, or they would just stick with the serious card, which is the bird. But Allen and Ginter's is the company that's going to make a serious card with a goofy angle to it. And so, okay, well, I'm pointing out to you that they do goofy stuff, like the Topps employee autograph. Well, the reason that's related, and I wanted to tell this story, was so this is a Topps employee. Well, the person they used on this card was a Topps employee. So they just made a Topps employee. They got different employees from Topps and used their image and made them into an old-time baseball player, like almost like a filter, like what is it, TikTok or whatever, Snapchat that uses filters. Now I know it's not a filter from the computer, let's say, but they took the dude's image, who's a Topps employee, and made him into this goofy card. And that is one of the really hard pulls from 2008. To get one of these cards, it's crazy odds. So I had a Topps employee card on the goofball card, but I always wanted to get a Topps employee autograph card because I've known about them and how hard they are to get. So that's why I was excited to talk about this one, because I think that's super cool. That is so Allen and Ginter. That is absolutely like, when I think of Allen and Ginter, that's one of the things I think of, just the goofy nature of what Allen and Ginter is. And so I'm going to reposition this for a second. I'm going to shrink this down. I'm already in an hour. It's hard to believe. I guess old Jeopardy's taking a little aside to this. So I've got the 2000, now this isn't 2023, it's 2015, and I'm sure I could look it up, but I'm just going to look at 2023 to give you guys kind of a comparison. I don't know how my zoom dropped to 80%. Alright, so I'm going to look at Topps for 2023 and tell you the odds of pulling an employee autograph. So bear with me. Maybe my wife can talk to you. Oh, I'm looking at this. Nope, she's playing her video games and doing something else. Alright, so Topps box loader, Allen and Ginter box loader, rookie design, World Series champions, International Delights, only in Music to Your Ears relic that I just showed you, the violin card, is 1 in 1,460 hobby packs, 1 in 61 boxes, so just so you know that. It's where this Allen and Ginter in action variation full-size cards, like 1 in every 144 packs. Okay, 1 in 6 hobby boxes. I've only got like 1 or 2 of those cards, so they are a short print too. Let's see, double rip card. Okay, here we go. Allen and Ginter employee autograph framed mini, numbered to 10. To pull this card out of this set, you know, well, the 2023 version of an employee autograph card like this, same thing, numbered 10. So these numbers would change from year to year depending on how many they actually printed, you know, complete sets and all that. But for this year alone, you could only get one of these cards out of 1 in every 31,669 hobby packs. That is 1 out of 1,320 hobby boxes. And for retail, to pull an autograph employee, it's 1 in 65,532 packs, or 1 in 2,731 retail, and I imagine that's the blaster. Then 1 in 61,769 packs, and then 1 in 7,722 boxes. And so I think that would be the retail boxes, like where you could buy the single packs. And then if you were to find it in, like, let's say like a fat pack or something like that, if you can find the value packs, it's 1 in 64,007 packs, or like 1 in every 8,001 of those whatever, however they come to the distributor, you know, whatever the boxes they come in. So that is like, obviously that's super rare. The dual auto relic book cards are more difficult. Those are, let's see, no, actually they're not. That's 20,000 every 20,000 boxes, or packs I should say. And well, I missed all of Jeopardy. Alright, employee, where'd you go? Employee. One in 31,000. Okay, so the Allen and Ginter dual auto full-size cards, red, numbered 10, is 1 in 142,000 boxes, so that's a lot rarer. And then the uniform countdown is 1 in 57,000, so that's rare. And let's see if there's anything else that's more rare than that. Allen and Ginter relics of legend mini size, so like the Dracula relic, like a Dracula tooth card. The cut signatures, 1 in 160,000 boxes or packs. This is pretty much equal to the Allen and Ginter framed originals. Like to get an original like 1887 or one of those 1800s Allen and Ginter's framed like this, a buyback, is 133,000 boxes. And that's Bob's your uncle right there. So in a sense, for what I'm seeing right here, I may be wrong, but I'm in the ballpark. These are the 5th hardest cards to pull from Allen and Ginter's, are these mini framed employee autographs. So some of you guys might think it's stupid, why does an employee get an autograph card? But really it doesn't matter. They are that rare. Like 30 some thousand packs. I mean, that's insane. Do you know how much Allen and Ginter you'd have to buy to just come across one of these? I bet you there's like breakers out there that have never seen one of these cards. And they go through cases and cases and cases. 31,669 packs. So 1,320. Alexa, what's 1,320 divided by 24?
1,320 divided by 24 is 55.
So you would have to open 55 cases of Allen and Ginter hobby boxes to come across one of these. That is super rare. That is super odd. It is super so many different things on the list of what I'm trying to do with Allen and Ginter that's just check, 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 check. That's probably the rarest Allen and Ginter card that I own. And I don't know anything about this guy other than what it says. You know, I'm super stoked because I have my Andre Dawson. That's probably means the world to me right there. And my Danica Patrick mini framed autograph original was my Grail card. But in reality, that, my friends, is the rarest Allen and Ginter card that I own. And it's one of the rarest Allen and Ginter cards anyone can own. And this one really wasn't super expensive. It's not as expensive as it should be, but because a lot of people don't get it or don't like it, you know, their loss is my gain. And yeah, that's an epic card. That's a huge pull for me. And yeah, what else can I say? The only thing I don't know that might be rare that I'm trying to hunt for is the micro Allen and Ginter card. I got the 5x7 Allen and Ginter card. Now I need to get a micro. And if you ask yourself, well, what's a micro Allen and Ginter card? Well, in some of the years, double rip cards, when you ripped it and you opened the double rip card, it would have one card in it instead of two. And those would be mini rip cards. So the mini inside the double rip card was a rip card. And you would rip the mini rip card and it had a micro 101. And that's all it was just like the same image of the short print card. And it just had the actual stamp on it, 101, and it was like a micro card of Allen and Ginter. So that's another one that I'm kind of hunting for on my list. This one's stuck up the top of the frame pretty good right now. But that's epic. That's awesome. I'm through the roof, and I'm happy with all three things that I got today. My personal collection, Andre Dawson. My first relic of him. Just as happy to have Benny here, because he's got a great story, and I'm glad that he got a card. And it's yeah, read his regular card when you come across it. And then the Topps employee card is the rarest Allen and Ginter card that I have. I've got some more of her coming up. And you know, these were some of my oddest Allen and Ginter cards, but I don't know, that's in the running now. All right, everybody, so that went on for a long time, but I'm glad it did, because I really wanted to tell this story, and I had to tell these stories. There was just no way around it. There was no cutting corners tonight. So hey, makes you feel any better, my favorite regular daily TV show is Jeopardy, and I missed it, so that I can do this video with y'all. Spend a good portion of my Friday night doing this with you, and I thank you for watching. Sorry about the long video from Rob at Old Style Classics baseball cards. I'm going to sign out for now. I'll do another video later, probably with that blaster and a recap. And if she wants to say goodbye, maybe I can wave her down.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Hey, you go out a winner. Bye, everybody.